Hey, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. It is another meal prep, still on Simply Feeling. Before we talk about that though, I want to say happy birthday to Amy Green. She's a new subscriber, found out it was her birthday Thursday, had already filmed for the day. So this is my first opportunity. Happy belated birthday, Amy. I hope it was a good one. So, what we have this week for meal prep. 2 brand new recipes. If you remember on my menu plan, there was only going to be lunch. I was just breakfast. No, I think I wrote that wrong. Now that I'm sitting here looking up at my, I completely wrote that wrong. I even told y'all wrong. I was going to do breakfast on the fly, this egg bake for lunch, and then just snacks, which I have some boiled eggs, some cut up cucumbers, some cut up oranges. That's how I wrote it. That's wrong. This is breakfast. I don't know what I was planning on doing for lunch. Boy, I messed that up big time. But it all worked out. When I met Susie Schofield the other day, she gave me all kind of stuff. Y'all saw my Happy Mail. In the Happy Mail was some magazines, and there was a Taste of the South magazine. Never heard of it. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I've been going through those. Well, let's talk about breakfast first. Let me roll my eyes at myself. The breakfast is an Italian sausage egg bake. That came out of a cookbook. Don't remember which one. Have it written down in my little notebook of things to try. So I don't remember which cookbook it came out of. And the sausage, to save the points instead of using Italian sausage, which I never eat. Never, ever. They say never, but I can tell you never ever do I, or I don't know if I ever have eaten Italian sausage. But I wanted to do the recipe as written just to make sure. But I wanted to save the points on the sausage. So I went to the internet and found one on Skinny Taste. Didn't make it exactly like her. She like forms it with her hands. Y'all know that ain't happening. Makes it into patties. I did mine like a bulk, you know, when you just mince it up and fry it like that. Well, you'll see how I did it. Easy. Ended up, I was supposed to have 2 cans of the cream and potato soup, and when I got my stuff out, I only had bought 1. I'm like, well, let me go to the store. So 7 o'clock this morning, I'm lucky Food Line opens at 7. I go to Food Line and get my soup, and that's when it hits me. I'm like, you're at the store, let's make lunch. It's a recipe out of one of those magazines for white bean and country ham soup. And as soon as I saw it, I mean, who don't like beans and country ham? I knew I was going to have to try it at some point. Well, while I was there today, I went ahead and picked up the beans and the country ham because in my memory, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I have everything else at home, and thank goodness I did. Just so happened I bought carrots for chicken bake that we got that little sauce packet for at Aldi's. Otherwise, I would have missed the carrots completely because I don't keep carrots on hand. Y'all know I don't do I don't do the raw veggies. No. So I got lucky. Still had a couple stalks of celery left from whenever I bought that celery for the last thing. I've been working on it for different recipes, so that finished that out. But let me tell you, both recipes were new. Wasn't sure, but I have tasted them both, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm in for a delicious week. I was skeptical about that Italian sausage because I thought maybe I would like it with just regular breakfast sausage. But I can say the turkey sausage in it is not strong. So I don't know if it's because her recipe is not a strong Italian flavor. I don't really know. I don't really have anything to compare it to. So use your judgment. If you don't like Italian sausage, pork Italian sausage, then use regular breakfast sausage or make the turkey breakfast sausage. Just keep that in mind. But I'm going to tell you what, it's delicious. Yes, it is. The soup, tasted it. It's delicious. Like I said, how can you go wrong with beans and ham? So the points on it, I'll tell you at the end, but I'll tell you now. The points on breakfast are high for Simply Feeling because of only getting the weekly points. But if I watch what I eat on the weekend, this weekend and next, because I'll have some of the breakfast for this week and some of the breakfast for next week as far as points go. No, no, it's all this week. I will already have eaten it all by the time my points roll over. I got 6 servings, I think, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do I have 6? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, that'll get me through Friday unless David eats some. I don't know. He's not. I don't know if he would eat that or not. I just don't know. I'll let him taste it, and if he will, then I'll share with him. So anyway, that the points, 4 points a serving, that gives me what's 4 times 6, 24 points off of my 49 just right off the bat for breakfast. So I'm gonna have to be very careful this weekend when we eat out, either eat out or change my mind and cook something at home, one or the other. But I'm gonna have to be very, very careful. Still not tracking, but in my mind I know, watch those points, girl. So that's what I'm having this week. I think I have talked long enough for an intro on a meal prep, and I think that was all I was going to say. So let's just turn around and get started cooking. To start our egg bake, we need to make the Italian sausage. In this little bowl, I have a teaspoon of sugar. Now, here's my tip I have not showed in a while. If you have a recipe that has a number of spices in it, separate them by the amount that is needed. That way you don't have to keep looking back and forth at the recipe. You don't have to worry about missing something. It just is a easy way to keep up with how much you need to put in your recipe. So what we're starting with is a half a teaspoon of paprika, quarter teaspoon of pepper, salt, and fennel seed. Then an eighth teaspoon of thyme, oregano, and marjoram. To make the sausage, heat your pan, add a tablespoon or so of oil, and your turkey. I'm using 93% because I can use that on Simply Feeling. Use whichever one that your plan will allow. Then break it up a little bit before we add the spices, and we're going to stir them together just to make sure we don't have like a pocket of one certain spice in our turkey. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, which would be the equivalent of 1 clove. And with your spatula, or if you have one of these little meat mashers, I don't know what it's called, mix the turkey around until the spices are mixed evenly, and you're just going to keep doing this off and on until it's done. And here you can see that I cooked out all the liquid that had formed, so we're just going to set that aside. Now in a good sized bowl, beat together 9 eggs. To that we're going to add 3/4 cup of milk and some pepper. We want to blend that in until it's completely combined. Next, we're going to add 2 cans cream of potato soup. And you can see I have 2 different kinds there because, like I said in the beginning, I forgot. Whisk that until it is completely smooth and the soup is completely mixed into the eggs. Then we're just going to add in our sausage and stir it to combine. We want to pour it into a greased 11 by 7 baking dish. If you don't have 11 by 7, 9 by 13 may work. I don't know, but that's just what the recipe called for. Just kind of mix around to get your turkey evenly distributed. This is going to, nope, I was about to say we're going to bake it, but we got to put some cheese on it first. I'm using Velveeta shreds, 1 cup. Then it will bake at 375 for 40 to 45 minutes. Here it is, fresh out of the oven. Mine baked for 40 minutes. We're going to cut it into 6 servings, and I wasn't sure if it was going to hold together or not, so I had a spoon and a spatula. But as you can see, if we get it out here, it held together really well. But it's very moist. So I'm going to just divide that out into 6 servings. To start the soup, heat up a heavy Dutch oven, a good heavy pot. Once it's hot, add I don't know, a tablespoon or two of oil. I'm using avocado oil. Then we are going to add 1 cup of diced country ham, 1 cup of onion, 1 cup of celery, and 1 cup of carrots. We're going to cook this until the vegetables start to get tender, mainly the carrots. And once they have got up decently tender, we're going to add 1 can of chicken broth. Scrape up any brown bits that you may have on the bottom. Then add 3 cups of water. Cook this until the vegetables, like I said, mainly the carrots, are completely tender. You want them completely done. Now, the recipe calls for fresh herbs, but I don't have them, so I had to substitute. I'm using a teaspoon of dried parsley, 1/4 teaspoon of ground sage, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then it calls for cannellini beans, 2 cans, drained and rinsed. What we're going to do is add about 1/3, just eyeball it, of the whole beans to the soup, and then mash the rest. Add the mashed beans to the soup and simmer it for 10 minutes. Now the soup is ready. You can see it has broth, but it also has some texture to it with those mashed beans. And then all I have to do now is divide it evenly into my containers. Now let's wrap it up. Here is my breakfast, the Italian sausage egg bake on Simply Feeling. This is a 4-point breakfast. I ended up with 4 servings of the soup. They are 1 point each on Simply Feeling. So that is my week ahead. And if you have prepped something, I hope it helps you stay on track. And if you don't do anything else, just plan something. You'd be surprised how having a plan will make your week go easier, whether you prep or not. So that is it for me. I hope you're having a good weekend, and I will see you on my next video.